Evangelion is inextricably linked to the life and personality of its creator, Hideaki Anno. I would outright claim that no work of fiction has ever been more popular than Evangelion, while being as much about the author of that fiction. This is somewhat paradoxical. Unlike a novel, you can't make a TV anime on your own. Other people will leave their marks on the work. Anno does not even have the claim to authorship that many other directors have, since he shares key creative roles in storyboarding, directing, and writing with many other people. And yet, Anno's work clearly does show more of himself than a Tom Clancy novel shows of Tom Clancy. In some sense, the way that this works is obvious. If Tom Clancy wrote a treatise on the indignities of his childhood, his most taboo sexual obsessions, and all the ways he's ever hurt another human being, and then he got Mark Graney to write a concluding chapter about how joining a SWAT team tasked with assassinating Kim Jong-un solved all of Clancy's inner turmoil, this would obviously be more personal than a normal Tom Clancy novel, which Tom Clancy had written every chapter of. The problem is that, unlike in that hypothetical example, there is no clear delineation between the parts which come from Anno himself and which come from his many collaborators. This has led many viewers to essentially just credit everything in the show to Anno. To be fair, it's not like they've been discouraged from doing so. A booklet sold in theaters for the initial run of End of Evangelion states, "From initial planning through this cinema version, Neon Genesis Evangelion has evolved around its director Hideaki Anno. Every aspect, from the overall theme and framework of the story down to each individual drawing and line of dialogue, bear the mark of Anno's creative individuality." Wow. Each individual drawing? Sasuka Ano-san. And it's not just that this extreme statement is wrong. Often what people consider most characteristically Anno about Evangelion are not aspects that originate from Anno. Since Anno is the creator of the ultimate, darker and more mature mecha anime, people often ascribe anything they consider dark and mature about the show to him. Episode 4 is considered most characteristic of this tendency in the first half of the show, a contemplative look into Anno's introversion and depression. But of course, this is a case where we actually know enough about the behind the scenes of the show to dismiss this interpretation. Anno had another storyline planned for the 4th episode, but staff on the show thought that it wasn't the best way to continue the development of the Shinji character. Akio Satsukawa wrote all drafts of a new storyline with little to no input from Anno, who is also not credited as the director or storyboarder for the episode, making it by far the episode with the least involvement from him. Meanwhile, the cooking plotline from 2.0, which is often seen as a fan-servicey betrayal of the original show, actually derives from the initial plans Anno had for the 4th episode.